Hello everyone, this is Sophia from Girls Pass. I'm quickly going to get Ratika to join in. Just give me a second. Hello. Okay, I'm just going to get my questions together while Ratika joins in. Okay, she has joined and I think she should be in the session soon. Okay, I'm trying to accept her. Just give me a second, guys. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry,
Are
I
you
don't know
able to
why
see me?
Instagram refused to let me accept you in the session.
Oh, normally, for some reason, my Instagram live has a problem because every time I try to, go live with someone else, it creates
Yeah.
some issue.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. And especially from where I stay, it becomes a little more difficult. So, anyways, let's start the session. Okay,
For sure.
so hello Ratika.
Hi.
You haven't met me, you've met my team. I'm
Yes.
Sophia and I work for Girls Buzz also. And everyone, this is Ratika Khandelwal. She is actually someone who was working in corporate finance before, from finance to yoga. And now she's a certified yoga teacher and, of course, creates a lot of content on yoga, gardening, and sustainability. So, yeah, would you like to add something to this, Ratika?
More or less, you have covered both the things. So there are two things that I'm doing currently. Being a certified yoga teacher, I take yoga classes, meditation sessions, and all of that. And apart from that, I'm a digital content creator. So for that, I create content on yoga, gardening, and green living, and vlogs, and much more.
Very nice, very nice. All of my favorite topics. That's why everyone was like, yes, Sophia has to do this live session.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I guess we did have a live session with you before last year, but that
Yes.
was a little more generic. And today we've decided that we are going to focus on PCOS specifically, and maybe have a few questions related to menstruation in the bargain. But yeah, PCOS is kind of something that is affecting each and every person right now. And like I
Correct.
was reading statistics, and I think 3 out of every 10 women are suffering from
Women.
PCOS at
Hmm.
some point in time. So definitely it's something, and it's something that people, when they take medications, I have been through PCOS cycle myself.
Oh.
And the first year that I had to take allopathy medicines, it was hell for me. I felt like I was pregnant and delivering a baby every single day. So was very difficult. And finally, I moved to alternative medicine, and that helped me a lot. uh, I didn't have the knowledge to be able to do a lot of home remedies and all that. At that time it was too early in my life. But yeah, I mean, you never know when it hits again, so I better be ready. And
Correct.
I will have all these questions for you, which are related mainly to diet and exercise and alternative methods of how you can manage your life during PCOS. Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
So tell me, like, you've been in yoga for a long time, right?
Yeah, so like I have been practicing yoga since my school days, but professionally I have been yoga for around 3 years now.
Very nice, very nice. That's
Yeah,
quite a lot of time.
a lot of time.
I think I consolidated have about 1 month of experience in it. So yeah, 3 years is a lot. Okay, so when when people come to you, I'm sure a lot of people come to you because they want to do yoga because of health related issues. So what are the most common issues that women come to you for?
PCOD, PCOS is like, very much on peak. Apart
Hmm.
from that, a lot of people come in for weight management thing, like
Oh,
obesity, and like they are not able to gain weight. So surprisingly, I get a lot of people asking they want to gain weight, but then they are not able to. Apart from that, like, again, around your periods and like, all of those things. So
yeah, yeah.
mainly your weight management and anything to do with your periods, I get to hear a lot.
Hmm. Okay. So when they come to you, I'm sure that, because you've had so much of experience, you already know, you would probably be inquiring about their symptoms and all that. So what are the early signs, if someone who doesn't know too much about PCOS, what are the early signs one can know that, okay, these are the things that are happening to me and I need to get myself checked. So that, of course, we are not giving medical advice here, but we are just,
Yes.
out of your experience, we are trying to just give some information. So, what are the early signs of PCOS?
Correct. So, like, normally people have heard a lot about PCOD, PCOS, and people use these terms very alternatively. But, like, both of these are a bit different, as in, you
Okay.
can basically, if the disease is limited to your only ovaries, around your ovaries, then that's your PCOD. But, like, if you start seeing the symptom of PCOD on whole of your body, then it becomes a syndrome, and that is what, like, it's called as polycystic ovary syndrome, and that's
Oh,
become your PCOS. So
oh,
normally
I
it
didn't
is
know this.
yeah, so PCOD is the initial version, and when it spreads to the whole of your body and you get PCOS. And like, that is when people also get to know, okay, they have PCOS, because
Yeah,
that is when, like, they get to see the symptoms. So if you
yeah.
ask about the initial symptoms, they would be like, hair growth on your weird places, like, basically increase in the male hormones, lag in your period cycles, a lot of cramps, or like, you are going through a disaster when you are on your period, so it's very painful periods. So basically these would be your very early signs. Your hair becoming very thin, you are starting to getting a lot of acne. That majorly these are your early signs. There are a lot, but normally
Yeah,
people come across these ones.
yeah, yeah. And we see people complaining about this. I mean, one or the other at any given point in time.
Yes, a lot, a lot.
And definitely, I myself didn't know that there was a difference between PCOD and
There is,
PCOS.
there is also another term called as PCO, which is like, only just very small cyst around your ovaries. So that is like, even the earlier stage. It is
Oh.
PCO, PCOD, and then PCOS.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when they come to you, what are the things in yoga that you recommend them to do, for it? So I would like to break down this question into three parts. So first of all, how can yoga help to manage PCOS, if not cure it? Can it help to cure it? And what are the poses? So we'll go one by one in each question. So what is it that
Gotcha.
yoga can help in PCOS?
See, I completely believe कि, like, this is a lifestyle based disorder or disease,
Hmm.
wherein it all depends on how your lifestyle is. How much are you sleeping? How's the tension level? Like, your emotions, what food are you consuming? At what time are you consuming? In what form are you consuming? So all of it depends a lot on like whether you are going to get PCOD, PCOS, and all of those. So when you control all of these things, these are some factors which completely make your lifestyle. And if you are able to control them and make them towards a good, like, direct them towards leading a good lifestyle, I completely believe you can reverse PCOD, PCOS, or even you can delay, postpone, or like, if you follow all of these things, you may not even get PCOD, PCOS ever. So I for sure
Okay.
believe ki yogic lifestyle, considering you are like, considering the yogic diet, the yogic poses, pranayam, cleansing practice, all of these combined can for sure reverse your PCOD, PCOS.
Wow, amazing. Amazing. So, yeah. So, while we are at this, what can yoga help? Like, as you said that yes, yoga can help even prevent PCOS. So, can
Yeah.
you give us some examples of? So while it can help prevent, can it also help cure PCOS or PCOD?
Yes. So like, we don't use the word cure, which means ki, like, it will completely eradicate the problem.
Okay.
We normally use the word reverse, ki that means ki abhi jo condition hai, usse we can, like, decrease at what level is it. And reversing does mean curing also at some point of time. But then, like, we don't use the word cure because that people like, attach to allopathy a lot. Like,
Yes.
we are taking the
Yes.
medicines to cure a disease, but over here
Yeah.
the purpose is not that. So that is
Yeah.
why, like, to not give this as an alternate option to your medication, we use the word reverse. So
Yes.
at some point of time, I do believe it completely cures, but yeah, it does reverses the condition.
Yeah, yeah. And in fact, I mean, even in allopathy, they say that you cannot never 100% get rid of PCOS. It can
Right.
just come in, so even they can't cure it. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So, like, coming to your initial question where you were asking ki which all practices and, like, all the things. So
yeah,
again,
the
we need
poses
to
that I did.
understand, yeah, we need to understand the logic. Ki why are you getting it, right? So as I said, your sleep will matter, your diet will matter, your body movements, if you are moving your body or not. So all of that will matter. So
Right.
basically, it is, you can consider ki, like, there are cysts around your ovaries,
Yeah.
and your hormones depends a lot on how your ovaries perform. So
Hmm.
basically, if your ovaries are not performing to their optimum, or like, they are dysfunctioning, something of that sort, then that creates hormonal changes in your body.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
you cannot really control your hormones directly, but all that you do, like, how much you sleep, in what state are you sleeping, does affect your hormones, right?
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
how are you feeling emotionally? If you are
Hmm.
very much in tension, in depression, in stress, so all of these things also lead towards, like, your ovaries not performing to their optimum. And if this thing carries for a long term, that can become a disease, and then you start calling that disease as your PCOD, PCOS, right?
Right.
If you are
Right.
not having your regular periods, and, like, not having your regular periods again can be because of too much of tension. It can be because of you are not
Yeah.
eating right, right?
Yeah.
So all of
Yeah.
this, again, if this continues for long term, it will become your disease. So basically,
Hmm.
you need to address what is the issue in your lifestyle, and then start fixing that. So for an
Right.
example, if you are not having sound sleep,
Hmm.
right? So just to figure out a way why you are not having sound sleep. So start practicing your yoga nidra, start practicing some pranayam practices, or, like, go for some meditation sessions right before you sleep. So doing
Hmm.
all of these things will help you in, like, getting good sleep. If, let's
Right.
say, you are obese, so you will hear a lot of women out there saying that they are obese, they have gained a lot of weight because they have PCOD, PCOS.
Hmm.
Rather, it's the other way around. They were obese, or they were not to their optimum weight, and that is why they have, like, got the problem of PCOD, PCOS.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's completely the other way around.
Yeah.
And people completely blame PCOS over here, and that is not really the case. You will
Yeah.
see a lot of ladies, like, we have lower abdomen weight, or like lower
Yeah.
abdomen fat, basically. Like, our
Yes.
lower belly is thoda sa more, like, it is designed
Protruding.
in that way.
Yeah.
Huh. And that's completely okay. But like, it is okay up till a level. If your lower abdomen fat is a lot, that means that is also where your ovaries are, right? Your reproductive system, your uterus, all
Okay.
of that. So
Yeah.
if you have a lot of fat over here, means your ovaries are taking that fat and you are
Mm-hmm.
suffocating your ovaries. So
Yeah.
if your ovaries are not able to breathe in properly, then that's a problem. Like, at some point of time that will start malfunctioning. So that is
Mm.
again going to lead to your PCOS. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
figure out, like, if being overweight is what causing you PCOS, then go for some movement. Now over here, yoga helps a lot because yoga focuses basically, like, it's a mindful practice, a mindful exercise wherein you
Mm.
move your body, but then you are also aware of which all body parts are you moving. So in that
Mm.
case, you will start seeing the results faster compared
Mm.
to any other your, like, exercise, whether you are going for Zumba, cycling, swimming, anything. You will see better results and faster results in yoga just because you
Mm.
are mindful over there. But then
Right.
if yoga is not of your type, you can go for any movement practice. Just move your body.
Yeah.
Basically, we have to, like, allow our organs to breathe. And
Yeah.
when your organs, like, basically when you stretch, when you do any kind of practice, your muscles move, there is more blood circulation, there is easy flow of nutrients to all your body organs, and that
Yeah.
will again help you to reverse the problem,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that is, like, few things. The last
Yeah.
thing comes about your diet. So if you're not eating right, again there are
So
cyst
I'll
formation.
just stop you 1 minute here because I've forgotten to inform them. So everyone, if you have any questions, you can just please post them over here. At the end of the session, we'll just take up all your questions, and I'm sure Ratika will be happy to answer them. Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
Sorry. Continue, Ratika.
Yeah. So the last thing that comes is key about your diet.
Yeah.
So diet is also related to your waist. Matlab, if you're not able to pass out your bubbles daily in the morning, that can also be a reason of your PCOS because there is a lot of waste getting stored in your body, right? And
Oh.
when there are cyst formation, so cyst formation is nothing but the formation of waste which is already there in your body. They are now coming in the form of cyst and
Yeah.
hampering
They're
the functioning
accumulating.
of your organs,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
And waste kab banega. So, like, when will the waste start forming in your body? When you are not letting that waste out of your body.
Yeah.
And
When it's not
like, we are
purging. Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
also, or how you eat. So again, your diet thing. So it is
Mm.
not like you have to diet, you have to only eat boiled food, you have to cut down on your carbs completely, not at all.
Mm.
You require energy, so have carbs as much as you can. But then, like, in yoga, we have few principles, and I completely abide by them. Ki indulge into mindful eating. That means ki when you are eating your food, you are only eating your food. You are not watching TV, Netflix, movies,
Guilty as
anything.
charged.
Yeah, and you will wonder. Just try it for once. You will wonder when you eat mindfully, your quantity will reduce automatically. If you face bloating issues, so there are other factors also, like, what are the combinations of your food and stuff. But then just try the thing. So even if you are eating a pizza, have that pizza mindfully. And trust me, you will have better digestion. Because what happens is, no, ki when you feel the texture, when you know ki what's going in your mouth, your salivary glands are able to release the juices very, like, aptly. And when it goes in your tummy, your abdomen is able to function to its optimum. And your body will be able to digest whatever you are eating. So basically, you are what you eat, but then you are also you are what you can digest,
Right.
right? So your body can digest each and everything. It is just that we are not having that in right combinations and not in the right way. So the way to have your food is, I told you, like, eat mindfully, indulge all your senses. And when you are eating, try to only eat. And that's the easiest thing that you can do, right?
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to change your diet over here, just like, how the way you eat. So that is one thing. That the second thing comes is in the quantity, in what quantity you have your food.
Yeah.
So if, if you will go back to how your mom used to cook the food, yeah, how your dadis and how your grandparents used to have their food, you will notice in your lunchtime, especially in the Indian families, we have some sukha sabji. And with
Yes.
that, we have curd or buttermilk, छाछ
Yes.
वगैरह होती है दिन के time में.
हाँ.
And in your dinner, we normally have गीली sabji, which means some झोल की sabji. Either we'll have dal, some वो जो छोकन की जो सब्जी बनती है, छाछ की खटाई की सब्जी, basically some liquid curry. वो रात को होती है because we don't normally consume your कच्चा दही and छाछ at night. So, the common thing in both the meals is having some liquid with your meal. And that liquid is not very cold. So even if you are having buttermilk, just make sure it's room temperature and it doesn't have ice and it's not very, very fridge cold. Right? And so having something liquid with your meal creates a lot of difference. If you cannot have buttermilk, because just consider it in a way कि whatever you are eating, it's going in your tummy और फिर उसका shake बन रहा है, right? Your tummy is basically churning all your food together. It is as similar as having preparing a green chutney, mint chutney in your jar. So just imagine if you only fill in the solid content. कि सिर्फ उसके अंदर mint leaves है, coriander leaves है, your ginger, tomato, chili, and no water. Right? You will get the paste. You will get the paste, but उस paste का consistency will not be apt for you to eat it. You need to add some liquid with it, either dahi, water, कुछ तो मिलाना पड़ेगा, and उसी के बाद में you will get your chutney. So it's the same कि whatever you are eating, your stomach is making chutney of that food. And to be to make that chutney in the right consistency, you need to eat some liquid with it. Now अगर कुछ भी liquid possible नहीं है, you can have warm water. Now, a lot of people say you do not have warm water with your meals, and that's right, because that kind of suppresses your digestive fire. But then I'm saying warm water, कि गर्म पानी पीना है, जो खाना you are eating is already hot, right? It's already warm. So you can have lukewarm, warm water, only half a glass, and you have to have it sip by sip. You are not gulping the water. So just have some water, squish that water into your mouth, and then you take it in. So that can become your liquid. And whether you have buttermilk, whether you have ghee sabji, everyone over here has water. Right? And we all can warm the water and have that with our meals, and that will cure a lot of problems. So people, again, who have digestion issues, only 2 things I'm asking for: eat mindfully and have some liquid with your meals. And that is all you need to do. And almost 50% of your problem can be easily solved over here. So only 2 things, not major changes, something which is very practical. Right?
I mean, you read so much advice on the internet, but this is something that is so basic and,
very basic. And very feasible also, कि whether you are living with your parents, whether you are living alone, in your hostel, kahin bhi you are living, this is something which each and every one of us can practice.
Easily. And I mean, having just a cup of curd is the most easiest thing that you can do with your lunch at least. So definitely it's the easiest thing.
Right. Just one thing a lot of us don't know of is curd is not really cooling in nature. Basically because it has a lot of bacteria, it brings in heat in our body. It develops heat. So the best is to have buttermilk. Buttermilk matlab like, yeah, with, and that too ekdam patli, like, a very thin consistency ka. So
Yeah,
when you are
watery.
preparing your buttermilk, yeah, very watery. So just like,
Hmm.
take 2 tablespoon, like 2 simple spoon of buttermilk in one, of curd in
Of
1 glass
one
of
glass.
buttermilk. So
Yeah, yeah.
only 2 spoons of your buttermilk with a lot of water, and you like, put in all your spices, your pudina, jeera, hing, kala namak, your normal namak, and that is the best thing to have even in your summers. So
Yeah.
that is something, right?
I actually use that as my migraine remedy, by the way.
Yes,
So
yes, it
it
is a very,
helps
very
me
good
to,
thing.
yeah. So if I step out in the sun, then this exact the way you said it, I make that buttermilk and I make sure that I always carry it with me, because if I'm out in the sun, I just keep sipping on it and I'm fine. Then if I go without it, then I'm back with a migraine immediately. So yeah, I mean, I'm
Same.
sure that it must be having a lot of benefits to it. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of. And
Nice.
like, the third thing that comes with when you talk about your diet is what kind of food you are eating. So
Yeah.
all of us over here know what is right for us, what is wrong for us, and each and every one of us can give lecture on it. Ki like, ye khao, ye mat khao. So I will not
Yeah.
cover that point, but like, just being very PCOS specific, ki do
Yes.
not warm your food again and again. If you will notice, no, in Western countries, a lot of women have PCOS over there compared to the Indian ladies, because
Hmm.
the tradition, the culture over there is like, they prepare their food for a week in a day, and they just take out that
Yes.
from your
Yes.
fridge and again
Yes.
warm, reheat,
Yeah.
microwave that, and that creates utter nuisance in our body. Matlab, don't ever do it. Just take out some time for your body. It's for your own health. Prepare fresh food, and like, you can maybe keep half cooked food, but at least don't keep full cooked meals into your fridge and have it like, by again reheating it. So that is one thing that every lady having PCOD out there should avoid. And then
Hmm.
the second thing is like, have fermented foods as much as you can. We require vitamin B12 in a lot, like in a good quantity. So like,
Okay.
having your idli, dosa, fermented foods, your utpam, and
Right.
all of these will help
Right.
a lot.
Right.
And carbs,
Hmm.
because we require more energy, right? So
Hmm.
having carbs, so like, your grains and basically your breads without your fiber, your fibrous
Hmm.
food. So all of this we require carbs. So have those a lot in a good quantity.
Nice, nice. Yeah. So I mean, these are really useful tips. I didn't know about that fermented thing. So that really helps us, is it? Fermented food.
Yes, yes, it does, it does.
So, what are the properties that it kind of puts into the body?
So basically, like, in specifically in the vegetarian food, we don't have much options for B12. Like,
Right.
normally it is in seafood and stuff, but we get a lot of good nutrients in the fermented foods, right? So that
Okay.
has a good amount of B12, and that basically works on your hormonal balance. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, the kind of nutrients that you require to bring your hormones in balance, and like, to provide energy to, matlab, it is good basically for your ovary, for your thyroid gland. And your
Mm-hmm.
thyroid gland, like, its role is very, very important when it comes to your PCOD again.
Mm-hmm.
So that does help a lot.
Lovely, lovely. Very nice. So, while we are on the same stream, are there any yoga poses that you can talk about that people can practice, when they are managing their PCOS?
Yes. So again, we will go to the basic, because I will like, if I go by naming the asanas, I will forget few, and whatever I tell you guys will forget few. So we
Yeah,
will go with the logic. Ki what's the logic? Why am I telling you those asanas? So
yeah.
again, where your ovaries are, it's down there in your lower abdomen, right?
Right,
So
right.
any position, any yogic position which puts some pressure, some stretch, some bend at your lower abdomen is good for you. So
Yeah,
basically all your forward bend. So whenever you are bending forward, that part is like, very much into action. So that's
yeah.
good. all your inverted poses,
Hmm.
right, are the brilliant for anyone having any kind of period issue. Just that
Hmm.
you don't have to do the inverted poses during your periods. Apart from that, you can do it whenever you want. It is good for your ovaries, it is good for your thyroid gland. So
Okay.
inverted poses is like, one thing that you all can practice on daily basis apart from your period days.
Basic
Apart
times.
from
Okay.
that, anything, yeah, that has to do with your, again, abdomen. So
Abdomen.
forward bends, even, yeah, even when you are bending back, you are stretching your lower abdomen, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
part is in action, so that will help you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Again, yeah, forward bend, backward bend, even the lateral bending does help if, like, if it's putting some stretch at your lower abdominal area. So all of
Hmm.
these poses does help. Apart
Yeah.
from that, if you talk about your cleansing practice, so one practice that is your Kapal Bhati, it is very, very beneficial,
Hmm.
especially in
Yeah.
case of PCOS,
Yes.
because again, like, it requires a lot of belly movement.
Hmm.
So yeah, these
But
practices
yeah, but yeah,
will
Kapalbhati is always better that you do it under someone's guidance first before you start doing it yourself, because it has
exactly
complications if you don't do it correctly. So yeah, that advice
right, right.
definitely
Yeah,
there.
again, yeah. And again, you don't have to do Kapalbhati during your periods. So, like, each and every yoga practice come with some contraindication. For an
Right.
example, ki even your inverted poses, someone having high BP, any heart problem should not do it. Or
Correct.
like,
Yeah.
if you are doing it, do it under some guidance. So whether it's like, any yoga pose, it does come with some contraindication. So it is,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, always a better option to
Yeah.
practice at least once under the guidance of a certified yoga teacher.
Yeah.
And like, once you learn the nitty-gritties
Then
of
you can
it,
go on
then
your
you
own.
can. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you tend to understand, and of course, feel your body also, right? When you are doing something, it
correct,
is troubling you,
correct.
know that okay, this is not feeling right, so you wouldn't do it. So that is
Right.
something that you can do. Agree, totally. People who have I mean, PCOS is something that stays on people's minds, and then there are changes in the body, and all this is happening. Of course, it kind of creates a lot of mood swings for women. So, is there anything that yoga can help to kind of alleviate anxieties that women have when they are about PCOS? When they are suffering from PCOS,
Yeah.
you tend to get anxious because you something is wrong with you, right? So, is there anything that can help women in that sense?
See,
In yoga.
again, like, it is all because of hormonal disturbances happening in
Correct.
your body,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So, again, so these things will definitely help you to sleep right on the right time. Do not interfere with your sleeping hormones. Sleep plays a very, very important role whenever, like, you are reversing any lifestyle based disorder. Eat
Hmm.
clean, eat right, and at least move your body for 10-15 minutes daily. So do
Uh-huh.
anything that you like, but at least move your body once in the day. Because,
Hmm.
like, nowadays, because of a sedentary lifestyle, these problems have started to go on, and, like, just increase with time. So when you do all of these things will definitely help to bring your hormone back into, like, into shape, and that will help to release the stress, anxiety. And do not think a lot about you have it. Just see whatever you can do and whatever things are there in your hand which you can do to work
Hmm.
on it and to reverse it.
Right. Yeah.
So
Of
yeah,
course. Yeah. Worrying never.
never
It will
helps,
never
never
resolve your
helps.
anxiety. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So I think we'll move on to the questions from everyone because we have quite a few. Okay.
sure.
So Neha Shikhawar has asked a question: how to join plants swap? Oh, I think you have some plant swap
Yeah,
program going
actually,
on.
with we had that, but now it's not there. I will announce whenever we are conducting the next one. So stay tuned on my page. Add me
Yeah.
to your favorites. and you will not
Yeah,
miss
and
any update.
yeah, her page is Rooted India with
Rooted
three
India.
O's. Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
R
Yes.
three O's, TEDINDIA. Okay. Dharmik is asking if drinking milk is healthy nowadays.
So like, that's a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
I will tell you my take. So a lot of people are talking about being vegan, and I
Hmm.
completely support the idea. Ki, like, you should not take advantage of someone else to fill your own needs, right?
Yes.
And I completely agree with that. But then
Hmm.
I do drink milk. I am not vegan. What my logic is, ki, like, this is my ideology. You can go with yours completely. I have milk, and that milk comes from a goshala. I
Hmm.
am very well, like, very well aware of the source. And it is not only about we are paying money, so like, cows owe that milk to us, but it is we like I know that goshala is not harming the cows when they are taking out the milk. So like, the
Yeah.
milk is first fed to the calves, and then whatever milk is left, which if the calves drink will go ill, that
Hmm.
milk comes to us, comes to human, right?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
are not interfering in between the mother and the dog, or like, the child.
Hmm.
So that we know. The second thing is we
Sourcing
pay visit.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Sourcing
So we are
responsibly,
not,
basically. Hmm.
sourcing responsibly is what I mean. And
Yeah.
then we go to that place, like, that goshala very regularly. And my parents, even like, a lot, they go over there. And
Hmm.
it is not only, so like, we do spend some time with cows, and like, feeding them, playing
Hmm.
with them, and like, so apart from paying the cost of the milk, we are also doing things over and above that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, it is again give and take relationship, the
Yeah.
same which goes even with the environment. Even
Hmm.
when you are having the vegetables, the fruits, you are only taking the things from the environment. You should also think about giving it back. So like,
Right.
planting your own kitchen garden, or like, planting some trees at least somewhere, or doing something, some green deed, which you are giving it back to the planet. So it
Hmm.
is always give and take, and not
Yeah.
the one way road. So that is my
Yeah.
ideology.
Right. I hope we answered your question, Dharmik. Anna Paul is asking, can you share something for IBS?
Okay, irritable bowel syndrome is IBS. And
Yeah.
again, like, whatever I
Yeah.
shared over here will,
Yeah.
yeah, will help a lot. The diet conversation that we had, the quantity, quality, and how you should eat will help you a lot in IBS. But
Yeah.
apart from that, what more things will help with IBS is the cleansing process. Now, I cannot talk a lot about cleansing process over here,
Hmm.
because that involves, again, like, you should practice them under some guidance. So we
Yeah.
have, like, some cleansing process which is very helpful to clean your stomach, to clean your intestines.
Hmm.
And we again get to know why you are having IBS,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So the diet portion will help you a lot. Apart
Yeah.
from that, the cleansing practices will help you a lot. And you
Yeah.
can maybe contact me later on with respect to this specifically.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the rest of them are related to Himangini is saying that we should do a live session on plants also someday. And
We should.
yeah, she's also saying that fermented soya bean in Northeast India has B12, so it tastes delicious. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And there are some questions here also. Bishar Babil, what is it? Bishar Balbikcha. Your smile is amazing. I don't know who smiled. We both take the compliment.
Yeah. We both will take it, because I like your smile too.
Thank you. Okay. Poses. Our question is already answered in Sanity. Any particular vitamins and minerals we should take if we have PCOS?
Yeah, so I think I answered that one again. Like
Yeah.
B12 is very, very healthy. And carbs, have protein. So all of this is again very, very healthy. And when you are doing some movements, so like, indulge, like, in some sprouts, some fruits, do not eat overcooked food. So all of this is not good.
Hmm.
Basically, eat in balance. A balanced meal is always good. So go for
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. So, Charles 29, you have asked a question related to particular precautions or diet suggestions, which Ritika has already answered. But she has also asked if there are any synthetic hormones. Are synthetic hormones in birth control pills helpful? I think that is a little doctor advice.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you have any take on it, you can share with us.
See, matlab, like, medicines are there to help us. And
Yeah.
I'm sure, कि, like, they are helpful, but I haven't studied about them much, nor I have, matlab, like, I don't advise this to my students because,
Yeah.
again, that is like, not something which is long term.
Correct.
So I do not like, recommend having synthetic hormones, but again, as you said, doctor advice, and will not go much into that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so before we wind up, do you have any message that you want to give to all the women who are listening to you right now?
I would
And
like, sorry.
I said, and men also.
Yeah, nice one. It's actually needed.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I would only say if you have PCOD, if you have PCOS, or like, even anything to do with your periods, do not consider that as a very huge problem. Anything can be reversed with practical options available.
Hmm.
And whatever you are going through, you will come out of it. You only require to focus on your sleep, on your diet, and have some movement. And if you get these three ticks right, trust me, anything and everything is reversible. So you have got this and have confidence. Yes.
Okay, I mistook Sanity's questions. What she's asking is that during periods, are there any poses which are okay to do?
Okay. During periods, so normally, again, a lot is going in your uterus, in your ovaries, or around your reproductive organs. So anything which do not put pressure in your lower abdomen, apart from all of that, you can do any poses. So normally, your lateral bending poses are the ones which can be easily done. Don't
Right.
do your forward bends, especially.
Yeah,
If you are
and
comfortable in doing backward bends, you can do that. Avoid the inverted postures completely and
right,
avoid anything which brings in heat in your body. So there are
right,
few pranayam practices which brings in heat. We do not want that. Kapal bhati, do not do it. Any cleansing practice, because they put a lot of pressure on your abdomen. So don't
right,
do that. So the
right, right.
crux, again, lateral bending is good. If you are comfortable in doing backward bending, you can do that.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And I think we've missed one very important point related to PCOS, which Bhumika has asked, that how can yoga help with the excess hair growth that you get in your body?
Right. So again, I will like, go back to your basics.
Hmm.
Why you are getting excess hair growth is because of a male hormone release, excess of male
Testosterone.
hormone release.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Hmm.
all have it. It is not like
Hmm.
you and I don't have it, or like, only PCOD ladies have it. We all have it. It is just
Hmm.
that in PCOS, there is a much more release of that hormone in your body. And
Right,
because of that, so like, that hormone work is to give a manly look, like broad shoulders, broad body, and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
stiff organs, all of that, more hair.
Hmm.
So that is the job of that hormone. What we have to
Hmm.
do is bring that hormone release into control. And again,
Correct.
how will that happen? When you will address the root cause.
Yeah, correct. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, that was great. We overshot our time a lot, but yeah, it was so interesting, and your explanations were really amazing. I think it has by far been one of the most insightful sessions that I have read or attended on PCOS, and especially yoga related.
Pleasure.
So definitely, it has been a great session for me. I'm sure everyone else also enjoyed. Thank you so much,
Okay.
everyone. Please, of course, subscribe to Girls Buzz, and also Rooted India, which is with 3 O's. Please go ahead. She has her session timings over there. There are a lot of explanations that she gives on her Instagram, and they are very interesting, not only for yoga, but also for gardening, if you are interested in that. And yes, we shall definitely do a session on plants very soon. I'm sure that we'll be able to learn a
Great.
lot there as well. So.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Girls
Thank
Bus, for having me over here. And
it's
I'm so glad that, like, even seeing your enthusiasm, I was like, no, I have to give the answers, like, even with more enthusiasm, because you have been listening to me like that. So thank you.
No, I didn't realize the time when it went by. I just saw the time now, and it's been 45 minutes since we are talking. So amazing. It was great.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
Lovely.
Thanks, Ritika. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, whoever was listening to us. Thank you. Bye.